All right, welcome back, Cyber Sleuths, to another explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today. Real quick, before we get moving, I just want to mention that this explainer was put together by the amazing team over at Forge College. So we're currently in our capstone Comprehensive Security Review module, which means we are at the absolute peak of our Introduction to Smart Contract Security journey. Today we are tackling the ultimate goal for any Web3 detective, which is finally closing that master case file. We're going to take all the theory, all the attack surfaces, and those threat models we've been building, and we are finally executing a comprehensive security review and reporting what we find. So grab your digital magnifying glasses because we're about to hunt down some serious bugs, and more importantly, prove exactly how they work.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to kick things off with the capstone audit begins, outline your audit acceptance criteria, and then we'll jump right into the execution phase. After that, we'll cover mitigations and roadmaps, hit our final checkpoint with reproduce, interpret, and act right before closing the case file.
Section 1. The capstone audit begins. Let's synthesize some of that prior work.
Now, in our previous lesson on impact analysis and severity assessment, you learned exactly how to tie technical bugs to actual real-world business consequences, right? So now it's time to execute. But we've got to remember this golden rule. A bug without reproducible evidence is literally just hearsay in the court of Web3. Just picture it. Imagine a developer who's been staring at the exact same code for, 10 hours straight, and somebody hands them a report that just says, "Hey, I think your contract might be broken." Like, that doesn't help anyone. To a developer, theories are basically just ghost stories. If you actually want them to fix a smart contract vulnerability, you have to hand them concrete, undeniable proof. You got to show them the exact weapon used, the exact entry point, and the exact sequence of events, no exceptions.
Which brings us to Section 2, your audit acceptance criteria. Let's talk about building the deliverable.
So, to move past that whole hearsay phase, we need a professional-grade deliverable. This is absolutely not about just jotting down some quick notes. It's about meeting strict requirements that leave zero room for doubt. Let's kind of break down the anatomy of what makes an undeniable case file. As you can see, for every single acceptance item here, there is required evidence. If you have a finding, your required evidence isn't just a basic description. No, it's the exact reproduction steps and the logs. If you're assigning a severity, you need a mapped severity narrative that explains the why. And for your mitigation, well, you can't just say something vague like, "fix the math." You need to provide an actual code patch or highly specific testing notes. And then we round the whole thing out with a prioritized roadmap and a checklist for the dev team. Every single piece of evidence here is an undeniable exhibit. If any of these are missing, your case basically gets thrown out of court.
All right, Section 3, the execution phase. It is time for running the raid. Okay, we know what we need to build. Now, let's actually go get it. This is the moment where we take all those meticulous plans, the attack surface maps, the test matrices, and put them into aggressive action. So, how do we run this raid? Well, it's a highly tactical 7-step operation. Step 1 is locking down your environment for total reproducibility. Step 2, we send in the beat cops. That's your static analysis baseline, just doing the initial sweep of the code for obvious infractions. Step 3, we're going to run unit tests and behavior checks to see how the contract acts under normal pressure. Step 4, this is a fun one. This is where we bring in the canine unit, fuzzing and symbolic analysis. We just let the fuzzers sniff out those bizarre twisted edge cases that our normal human mind would probably miss. Step 5 is the manual code review, where you use your seasoned detective intuition to inspect the logic. Step 6, we apply our impact analysis to figure out the actual damage. And finally, Step 7, we assemble the report. Just 7 clear, logical steps to victory.
Now, I want to highlight a really crucial point regarding that final step, assembling the report. You have to build the report document while you work, not at the end. I see rookie detectives make this mistake literally all the time. They do all the fun hacking and the testing, and then they just save all the boring paperwork for Friday afternoon. But by then, the evidence has gone totally cold. You forget the exact command line flags you use, or the specific block number, or some weird little quirk in the environment. Documenting as you go ensures your evidence remains airtight and those highly specific details never get lost in the shuffle.
Section 4, mitigations and roadmaps, fixing the flaws.
Okay, so let's say you've successfully run the raid and you caught a really nasty bug. What comes next? Well, finding the flaw is incredibly satisfying, for sure, but our ultimate goal is securing the ecosystem. Once you catch a bug, you have to advise the maintainers on how to fix it without accidentally breaking something else in the process. To do that, we rely heavily on reproducible evidence. This is defined as the exact commands, input corpus, or transaction sequences required to consistently trigger an identified vulnerability. And I literally cannot stress this enough. This is the absolute currency of an audit. If the maintainers cannot replicate the crime scene on their own machines using your specific instructions, they simply cannot secure it. You basically have to hand them the exact map to the trapdoor.
Let's look at how this builds into an actionable report by comparing a weak finding to a strong one. First off, a weak finding provides severity without impact rationale. If you just hand them a paper and say, hey, this is a critical bug, that's just your opinion. It lacks any real weight. Conversely, a strong finding provides severity with an impact narrative. This is where you establish a clear, undeniable causal chain from the root technical bug directly to the attacker's benefit and finally ending at the devastating business consequence. That narrative right there, that is what transforms a casual observation into a highly actionable, high-priority fix.
Section 5. Reproduce, interpret, and act. This is our final checkpoint.
Think of this section as the ultimate stress test for your case file right before you hand it over to the stakeholders in the dev team. We need to be absolutely certain that our logic holds up under scrutiny and that our proposed fixes are actually going to be helpful. So this checkpoint consists of 3 vital steps that any good reviewer is going to perform. Step 1. Reproduce, meaning, can I follow your steps, execute the finding end to end, and see the exact same failure? Step 2. Interpret. Can I trace your path from the technical evidence straight to your severity decision without scratching my head? And Step 3. Act. Can I actually verify that your suggested mitigation addresses the root cause? We have to ensure our fixes close the loop and, critically, that they don't introduce brand new regressions into the codebase.
And that brings us to Section 6, closing the case file. Let's talk about next steps.
Well, we have executed the capstone audit process from start to finish. We've gathered the reproducible evidence, we've crafted some really compelling impact narratives, and we've built solid, verifiable mitigations. Basically, we've brought all these complex moving parts into a highly satisfying and professional conclusion. So the only real question left for you right now is, are you ready to hunt bugs? You've got the tools, you have the structure, and most importantly, you have the mindset. It is time to step up, run the raid, and execute your own Japstone submission with the absolute precision of a master investigator.
But, once you've conquered this audit, your journey is honestly far from over. Your next training module, essentially your next case file, will be the history of re-entrancy attacks, where we are going to dive really deep into one of the most notorious vulnerabilities in all of Web3. Thank you so much for joining me today on this explainer. I hope you're as fired up about this stuff as I am. Now, to continue your education, dive deeper into this subject, and master all sorts of other incredible Web3 topics, make sure you visit forge.college. That's forge.college. Happy hunting out there, cyber sleuths, and I will see you on the next case.